Welcome freaking back, my scrubs, to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus for Nintendo Switch. It's so funny. It's so freaking weird that it's on the Switch. I don't know why it is to me. This is episode number 2, if you missed episode 1, where basically, and I'll explain. Let me explain. Everyone say hi to Monika and say bye. Nobody told me. And right, I think it's a secret. I don't know, maybe. I played the entire game because I thought that all the new side stories were gonna be sort of intertwined within the actual story. That's what I actually thought. But little did I know, there's this menu that I probably could have accessed from any place. I was like, I'll just play the game. Surely the side stories will come up eventually. They never did until the very end, where it forces you, where you're stuck talking to Monika, it forces you to freaking leave. So that's why it took me so long to release yesterday's episode. Well, not today, guys. Welcome back to episode 2. We actually found some secrets in the files. This is a really interesting way for it to do that. And what the heck is Metaverse Enterprise Solutions? I actually went back, and you guys also should do this too. Watch MatPat's theory on DDLC, and you know, I want to see if maybe we can connect those things. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that all today, obviously. But just it would be kind of cool to see if we can make anything. And when do we get mail? And also, who's controlling this computer? Is it like, is this supposed to be us the person, or is there another character that is a part of a whole nother shebang? Watch, let me look at some of these files that we actually found yesterday. Like, we could just assume that this is part of Project Libitina, right? Okay, there's the Monika character file, obviously, that we should probably delete. Okay, wait, what does this say? All right, what does this say? I haven't read this one yet. Note, insecure directory text. This is a scratch disk. Do not use it to store sensitive or permanent things. If you need to access the files from the encrypted file share, copy them to your disposable drive and plug it directly into the thin clients. Do not copy them here. Ria, see, look, they freaking mentioning people by names. Ria's working on setting up a proxy mail server, and these, like, Ria, who's, like, so freaking weird. So we have to assume that this is probably the people that work at this company or whatever. Ria's working on setting up a proxy mail server so we can have proper remote communication without having to worry about the higher-ups. Keep everything offline until then. Paula Abdul from American Idol? What the heck? File copy test from disposable drive to thin clients. Can we copy files? I have a feeling like no matter what game I play now, Monika's gonna be on it and just haunt all my games. That's just a feature that comes with the game, guys. Updated development timeline, new tasks, test cases for new genetic model. Server time optimization idea, automatic data collection, data migration to encrypted file share Monday. This is all gibberish to me. I don't know what this means, but I'm very, very curious to know what it means. Ideas for data search types, visual renders, audio data. Oh my god, guys. I am so excited. I can't even freaking explain. And yeah, so this is what we found too, tower keys. Clock time. It's like we need some sort of key for something. That is the only file that we can actually open, and we can delete them. I don't think we should do that. And like I said, I played to the very end of the game, so I don't know if some of these files are always available. I have no freaking idea. Okay, so I want to check something. So there's actually a project, or there was at least a Project Libitina website that was also explained in the MatPat, or the game theory of Doki Doki Literature Club, like episode 2. I want to see if that's actually still available. Let's check that out, guys. So in that theory, like everything, all the codes basically lead you to the projectlibitina.com. I really hope this is actually freaking the right website. Please don't hack me. Yeah, no, this looks about right. So basically, all the theories and all that, there's like so much crap that went into this that was in the files of the original Doki Doki Literature Club. So basically, when you get down to every single file and all the codes, it just leads you to this website right here. Okay, yeah, no, this looks about right. Yeah, this matches up. And look, percentage symbol. Yeah, in yesterday's episode, I noticed that there was like a percentage symbol on something, and I'm like, what does that mean? So I don't know if there's any connection there. Bro, all this talk about the third eye. There's an eye on the Portrait of Markov book, obviously. Okay, so I just want to see if we can find any of the names, right? Spoiler alert for the theories for MatPat. I don't mean to, but I mean, I'm assuming most people have already seen it, so go watch it if you haven't. And also, by the way, I just want to point out, go buy the game. Go buy DDLC Plus, okay? Go support the developer, and you guys can figure this out on your own. And then leave a comment. Tell me how to freaking do it all. We have some sort of the same kind of notes that we see in the files already. I haven't seen all the files. But MatPat believes that basically Yuri is the girl that's in these notes. Forgot her actual name though. These are the things that this person would do, the test subject, and which is all the same things that actually Yuri has done, and we actually got to see that yesterday too. So like, just seeing this makes me so hyped for this. How could you not be hyped for this, guys? I'm not saying you're not, but like, I'm just saying, how could someone not be hyped to figure out what is going on. I'm gonna save it for now. I think there's probably a lot that needs to be done. For now, I think we might find some more answers in the side stories. Plus, we obviously want to see the side stories. So let's start some of those side stories. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish it all because I heard they're pretty long. Okay, the side stories are stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game. All right, I'll believe that when I actually play it. To get all 6 side stories, try writing poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes in DDLC. Oh, so it actually was good that I actually went through the whole game. I thought I was stupid. I thought I was really, really stupid. So yesterday I did Yuri's route, right? Because I was really curious because obviously I know that she's the center behind really everything, seemingly like everything that's happening. I would say her, Monika, for sure. So I'm going to start off with Yuri and Sayori. You know, let's just start it out. You know, I didn't think I'd be a big fan of like the whole interface thing, but I actually really like it. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monika and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside, a face that seems familiar. New content! Yeah, so guys, thank you for being patient from yesterday. This is really exciting. We got the new music and everything. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She very conspicuously mouths to Monika. It's her! It's the girl! It's true, the girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in a classroom. So this is how they met? What? Thanks to Monika leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she found her way to the club. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is pretty like how did she get in the club? I really love how this is answering this. I didn't know I needed to know this. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is a literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps to the door but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continuing to fail, containing her excitement. It's happening, oh my gosh! Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monika, and this is Sayori, and we run the literature club, even though it's just us so far, but what's your name by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you serious? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone's welcome here, you don't have to be good enough. Monika, I know you don't have anyone's best interest. Do you want to have a seat? We love to get to know you. Actually, I should probably correct myself just a little bit. Monika was, you know, pretty good, actually. I don't think she was, like, particularly evil until we showed up. So maybe she's cool here. This is probably before she got bored. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monika. Sayori, I already, oh, nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monika. Fantasy's cool. Yes! Have you heard of Annabelle de Punt? I don't know what that I don't know how to say that crap. I can't say I have. Oh well, she's my favorite author. Give me a second. Is this a real author? We gotta take anything, okay? I'm looking this up. Wait, something does come up. Is it a freaking restaurant? What is this? Well, apparently there's a lot of people that are named that. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. She's a cyberpunk. Guys, there's bugs in cyberpunk. There's bugs in DDLC. Guys, we're onto something here. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, no, that's Rebecca. What the heck? Why'd you lie to me? Okay, I think I'm reading a little too much into that. Just had to see. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books. I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monika stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. Oh, I'm so stupid. I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. Oh, you probably only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself the considerable heftiness of the book that Yuri set down on her desk. True, okay, I'll go get my first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monika and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have like no experience with fantasy except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably like a joke compared to what she's into. Wow, so even Monika's intimidated by Yuri. Interesting. I don't think we've ever really seen that side of her like that. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'd be fun to learn from each other. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it seem like that? Monika, well, no. You get yourselves a couple of good knives and you guys got a party. Monika, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty, I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I just like learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yay, that's exactly what I should do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably gonna need all the time I can get. I don't know what she meant by that. She taps her finger against the dauntedly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Oh, okay. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back! Her breath is slightly heavy, which combined with her short time gone, indicates she might have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought for her is just about equal in size to the one Yuri's already got on her desk. Well, there's probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in the other books that take place in the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Yeah, so I would take it that Yuri's one of those people that's not really self-aware, that she's kind of coming on a little strong. I mean, in fact, you know, it was great that I went through the game because I really saw that. I really saw that Yuri was not very self-conscious, or not self-conscious, is that the word? She wasn't self-aware, so she's just like bringing these ginormous books. Sayori nervously interjects, well, I was thinking maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more, you know, maybe we could start off some Cat in the Hat, you know? I think like if we're gonna be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monika smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down, then looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. She's like, I want to read books. So what made you decide to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I haven't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glances over at Monika. Monika? Monika came into my classroom and put the flyer on my desk. So why was Monika really recruiting? What's her real goal behind this? I mean, I would have to assume that we don't really, all of this is just like nothing. There's obviously a lot more going on behind the scenes, behind the game. So I just want to know why this? What is all of this? It's some sort of project, but I must continue on. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid, I got so nervous, or too nervous, and I couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monika told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that that was probably irrational. Wait, no, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you'd come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interrupt things at the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I really have a hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. Yep, that's not gonna be many more people. Unless like this game, unless it goes into the festival later on. Aw, that makes me happy. I'm proud of you for waking up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before. It's so hard to find others who are into the same things as I am except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kind of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything. If it's not literature, come on, Yuri. Just talk about the knives. Talk about your machetes. I bet she has machetes. I know it's not like a knife. It's like more of it's like a half sword knife. I don't know. I'm trying to be into her interests, as you could plainly see. Okay. Oh, just things you would think are dumb. Sayori pauses, a look of concern on her face. How about I'll tell you about something I'm into, and then you can tell me about something you're into. I suppose that would be okay. Okay, well, I'm pretty into like crafty things, like making cute little collages or decorating things, like cards or jewelry boxes. I bet you she got an Etsy account. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off until last minute. So like, yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into. You know, I'm quirky. You sound quite creative. Not that much, it's just like, you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. So I have to share something that I'm into right now? Alright? Sayori nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. I didn't know that. We learned something new. Monika, I'm gonna start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck with me for now. I'm not. Am not? Oh, yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as Vice President of the Literature Club. Okay, so that was official right there. Now that you're stuck with me, hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri, I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward after having gotten cut off. I feel like going into the woods or to the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I really never have the time to do something like that. Same here, dude. I love going on walks and I barely do it. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continue their conversation led by Sayori, but with Monika chiming in every now and then as well. Monika intended to leave it to Sayori and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, it looks like we were wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on that book at the next club meeting? That's the plan. I'm so excited. You know, maybe it's not a good idea for Sayori to be reading stuff that Yuri suggested, but I'm actually curious if she actually does. Sayori beams. Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayori and Monika with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayori enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayori and Monika are left in the club room. Sayori, you were a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, it really lifted my mood. It feels really nice that I can put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know, it made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with the next meeting? I'm kind of scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I mean, yeah, all I gotta do is read it. It might take you 4 years, but I was never much into reading other than, actually, I read the whole series of Unfortunate Events. I love that freaking book. Guys, let me know in the comments if you read that. I really want to know. That book was freaking sick. I even like the movie too. I never watched the Netflix show, but I really liked the movie, even though, like, you know, it wasn't perfect, because it never is, but I freaking love the Jim Carrey movie. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. This is wholesome as crap. Another school day ends. I'm liking the new music too. It's really relaxing. Yeah, it really fits the side stories. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the clubroom, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayori in the clubroom. It's club time again! Monika went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Why? Why is she going to the computer lab? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. I'm sorry about yesterday. Sayori tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri is talking about. Well, I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. Oh, you know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. She seems pretty self-conscious or aware. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... Yuri, you didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still, I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested. But if you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't even have club activities yet. I mean, Monika and I have just been working on recruitment stuff mostly. So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together. Reading your books, you know, like as a club activity. That would be okay, alright? Alright? Well, I might be so resistant to this anyway. It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. It's just overthinking, right? I think everyone is guilty of doing this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I could do to help you feel more comfortable here. She pulls her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell. Heart of the Everlast Saga. Okay, so no Book of Markov yet. I don't know if this has any connection. I'm not gonna assume. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Alright, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how come you need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just taking notes. She does her freaking research. Notes? I mean, Yeah, that's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it'll be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. I like how she's like immediately doing exactly what she said sorry for. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head. Wait, even I don't freaking... What'd she say? A strategy? I guess that was the joke, I don't know. But thinking about it, she decides it's probably best for that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll help try to make it as accessible as possible. I trust you, you're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in things I have a lot of experience with. That is so true, by the way, yeah. Most people like, you're just smart in what you know, but nobody can know everything. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone else who comes off as smart. I like Yuri. You know, I'm liking the way she thinks, you know? She may be awkward, but she's really smart. Especially you. No. Sayori rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? You fangirls out there. Fanboys and girls. I don't want the shippers in my comments. Get it out of here. We ain't going down that road again, alright? Ship at your own risk, for God's sakes. Okay, after the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, histories, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. That's what I always want to know. Like DDLC, like how do you come up with it? What kind of writing? Or what kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are just like putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. You're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works like poetry and folk songs. No way! Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time she heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get reading now if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. We know. We read with her. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots Yuri is patient into her notes. Aw, that's cute. That's it for the book. I'm just kidding, but I'm kind of glad you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. I always skip the introductions of books and like the table of contents, you know. Well, obviously the table of contents, but like the introductions. I think they're just annoying, to be honest. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Oh, well, in this context, it essentially means he was proven innocent. Yeah, I don't even know what it meant either, but, you know, I have heard the word. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expression had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. Who's Barnes? But they didn't tell me that. Look it up, guys. Look it up. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. I thought it said something completely different. Whoa, Sayori. I'm not gonna explain what I thought it said. The two of them continue with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value of the notes as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we can stop here for now. Okay. Sayori takes a deep breath and closes what little of the book she's gotten through so far. So what are your thoughts up until this point? Sayori tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and keep doing my best so I can see it the way that you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quiet. Wait, did she say something wrong? I don't understand. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses, then shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow. But I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore. That's all. I'm sorry that I made you. Yuri leaves. Holy crap. You aren't making me. Sayori is left alone with her words. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. Dude, I just want to listen to this. Ooh, dude, that sounds really good. I thought I heard some breathing, and it reminded me of one of the mods, the freaking, what's it called? The Yuri after, no. What was it called? It was the Yuri, oh my god. I think it was the Just Yuri mod. It had like this breathing in it, and I heard breathing too. I really thought that song was really cool. That had a dope soundtrack. But yeah, so far, yeah, this really fits Yuri in my opinion. I'm trying to figure out what she said wrong. Oh, it must have been the part where she said, it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. And she said, am I doing well so far? Maybe she was like, yeah, she's probably not into it, you know? I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monika trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't really want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Sayori stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she just forgot to take it with her. This is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough. I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. Well, that took a turn. Huh? Oh, we got more now. I unlocked a picture. Yay! Look at that. Finish the side story, Understanding 1. Bro, I'm living for these pictures. I don't know why. I didn't think I'd ever be excited for pictures, but acquisition procedure. Wait, why does it say that? Something is fishy as freak, guys. I just got a feeling something else is going on, you know? Like, yeah, how come some of them say that? That's a little weird. A little weird, guys. Ah, dude, this is a vibe right here. Just chill out to this. Oh, yeah. This is really good, actually. You got mail. Nah, not yet. I'm gonna be so excited if we actually get mail. But like obviously it's there for a reason. Okay, well, I guess let's continue on with part 2. See what happens with them. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at the desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy, but my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Like everyone knows that feeling. Minutes pass and nobody enters the room. Not Yuri or Monika. What the heck is Monika doing? Gosh, I am so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monika rounds the corner, approaching the club room. As she does so, Yuri? Ah. Yuri jumps at the sound of Monika's voice. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I'm so late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club room is open. It's not. Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was just wondering if I could help you today instead. Me? With club publicity stuff. Yes. Monika is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before? Did they not get along after all? She is straight up offended. She's straight up offended by whatever freaking Sayori said. Monika looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Aw, come on, go sit with her. Okay, it's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Me too. Monika is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic. She realizes that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monika finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. God, that's awkward. Monika tenses up with a stinted conversation. How the heck did Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on flyers. Oh, Sayori told me. What did you end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like literature club now. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. Okay, so that is what it is. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her through, but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? Yuri sighs. That was her sighing too. Yo, no, yo, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. That's something that is like, I never do, is just pause to like think. Sometimes you need to do it. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monika pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club, hopefully anyway, and learning about diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone could be happy with. That everyone could be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course, I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. It's true. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, I guess, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I could talk for hours about the things that I'm into, unfortunately so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just don't have any idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or make fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into the third category. So, wait, she what? Hold on, what you're saying Sayori took pity on you? Yuri nods. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Yeah, but no one would be that blunt, you know? Because I feel if you were, then that would be not only shocking, but kind of rude a little bit. I mean, you could say, I am not interested in what you're saying, but like, how does that come off? Like, how do you explain that? I think it's up to the other person to recognize that the person's not into it and then ease off. To me, that seems like a lot more normal. In fact, you don't want to get to the point where the person says, I'm not interested, because then you've already gone too far. Just my opinion, at least. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. Ah, come on, Yuri. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stop short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fists clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? You know, I'll give it to her. I think it's a give and take, you know, for a friendship. You do need a give and take. I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exasperating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be solved without them understanding each other better. Sayori wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too, but good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of this cycle I'm creating for myself. I think I'm so afraid of pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session, but I understand that now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. Don't be shy. Say it. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. She's good at explaining herself, I'll say that much. You know about people, so thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Well, they make it all kinds of connections, like, this is interesting. Yuri and Monika finished replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the clubroom once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never gonna feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monika. You're not just gonna wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. That's just like her. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know what? Now that you mention, I bet we can get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. And that's how they got it. Hey! This is the lore, guys. This is the lore. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would that really be possible? She is now very interested. I'll look into it. I think it'd be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. They just start fighting? Yuri, wait, hold on. I'm not done yet. Sayori shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught her in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first, but I got most of the way through it. She read the book herself. And look, Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced in indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fist against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri, Sayori's voice quivers in shock after receiving the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand, so if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri stinks. I've just totally ruined the moment with my bad reading, but that's funny. Yuri sinks to her knees, her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with the internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here before Monika sees her like this and before Sayori tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. There it is, guys. That's the picture that we saw. It's okay. Aww. That's adorable, guys. That's adorable. You know, we don't always need horror. Sometimes we need some wholesomeness. Yeah, I posted this on Twitter too. People were like all like making a bunch of jokes. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice, "It's okay. It's okay." Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through her clenched throat, trying with all of her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand the things that you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, please just tell me your feelings, and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. Dude, this just makes me more mad about Monika. Like, they're so nice. They didn't deserve what happened to them. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think I've gotten so used to people just being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people, so it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club, I thought that it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. You gotta take that weight off, you know? One thing I've realized out of life, and I'll get back to the story, but like, is that you think you can hold thoughts in. You think you can, but one way or another, they are going to be expressed through some way. And it's usually not a positive way that they're gonna be expressed. Some things you just really need to say. And if you don't get them out, you're going to just, you know, cause yourself a lot of unnecessary pain, you know? That's my tip of the day. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too. But I feel like it would be just frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you could get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. So you don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know, worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird, so it's a literature club. But it's the best part, that we're all different and have different interests. Like about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we can never discover new things if we don't try them first, right? You hit the nail on the head, Sayori. I want to learn the reason that you love it so much, and in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me as well. Yuri fights back with a smile at that comment. Oh dude, why is this is like too much, man. I can't. It's overloadingness. Like the wholesomeness is overloading right now. Already the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening, rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. How long were they like that? Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear, but we could stop anytime. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course, I'm not gonna judge anything this early on though, so we'll just see what happens. Oh, and it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back. Monika's back. I haven't seen you like that at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika. She whispers loudly, "Can I hug you?" Sure, Sayori. Yeah, she obviously doesn't listen to that, but yeah, it's funny. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know, Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Is that supposed to be a joke? Oh god. She was trying to reference the book. Yuri laughs. Monika, perplexed, looks between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like your first real activity as a literature club. Oh, about that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it'd be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Yes. Do you like poetry? Ask her about how she likes cows. You know? Yuri smiles. Okay, so that was the ending to their side story. Okay, yeah, so next episode, we could either go through Monika and Sayori's, or I really want to see Natsuki's next. I wanted to see their side stories. I wanted to see if there was anything there, but hey, you know, I don't know. There's obviously still a lot of stuff we need to explore as far as the actual game, but bro, that was actually wholesome. I really enjoyed that. Some people probably would find that boring, but not me. It might help us to know, you know, these things in the future. Who knows? So that's the picture that we get. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I can't wait to do the rest of the side stories and I don't know. I love just throwing myself in this game. Don't forget, guys, go buy the game if you haven't already. I don't want to spoil it for everyone who doesn't want it. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're not gonna buy the game, I don't think, but I want you guys to support the developers always, every game that we play. So yeah, if this piqued your interest, I highly encourage you to go download the game. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you. Subscribe if you haven't already for more DDLC. Check out my original playlist if you missed out on it. If you're new to the series, at your own risk, because it's kind of a crazy game. It's a very crazy game. And I'll see you scrubs in the next one. All right, bye.